application. Today I'm going to show you how to go through and upload an ebook to KDP. It is super simple, super easy, but your first time can be really frustrating if you've never done it before. I had a background coming into marketing and design and uploading. I watched a lot of videos. I did a lot of research. So when I came in, it was a lot simple, but there were still things that that were just kind of like, I don't understand what this is for. So if you were part of the last video where I showed you how to put an ebook together, this is the continuation of that. I'll be posting this video actually on both of my YouTubes just because I did not provide a link in my other video to this. So this will be published on both of my YouTube channels so that you all get a peek at how to do this. So obviously you're going to go to your bookshelf when you get into KDP. I can't show you how to do your KDP account because I already have one. But it's super easy to set up. They don't make it all that hard on you. So you're going to come into your bookshelf. Now, I already have a pre-order. If you weren't doing a pre-order, you can just go to create and it'll ask you what you want to create. And then you can say, I want to create a Kindle ebook. And that is how simple it is. And when it does that, it's going to bring you to the same page that I'm at with mine. Which is that first initial page. Now, as you can see, I have 2 hours to upload my book, which is why I'm doing it right now. So it'll bring you to this page and it'll all be empty. So you're going to choose your language for your book. And then you're going to put in your book title. Now, if you watched my keyword video, I tell you that it is very important for you to put keywords into your book title. Don't just put the book title, because then when people are searching on Amazon and trying to find it, you are more likely to be brought up in the search engine when you put in keywords. So my keywords are an MFM Omegaverse novel, which is what my book is. And so I think I'm just going to put, you know what, I might just put Menage. Here we go. I'll just put it Menage. A Menage Omegaverse novel. And then my subtitle is Fairy Tales with a Twist, because that is what it is under. You will see a lot of authors who will put like mine is Shattered World, or Shattered Pieces, a dark mafia romance is what the thing is, because so when people are looking up mafia, dark mafia, they'll be able to come up with that. If you have a series, you'll be able to add it here. I'm already part of it. I'm not touching this because this is part of a multiple author project and I don't want to shit it up. And so that's not the word, is it? I think it's screw it up, isn't it? So I want to make sure that I'm not touching this on this one because I had to go and ask. I had to email KDP to link the series, but I will show you that in another video for sure. An edition number, this is optional. This is if maybe you're publishing a second edition. If I'm only making minor changes in my ebooks or paperbacks, I don't put an edition. If I change the formatting, if I added content or something like that, I do change the edition number. But you can't put an edition number. This is edition number 1, but I'm not really worried about that. Now you can also put this is where you're going to do your author name, any contributor. Some people will contribute like the illustrator, the cover designer, the narrator, or the editor, or anything like that. I don't bother with that unless I had a narrator. Oh, excuse me. All right, and the next thing that I'm going to do here is the description. This is where you are going to put your blurb. So as you can see, my blurb is in here. I like to make sure that it's nicely spaced. I copy and paste it, and then I will arrange it from there. So I'm actually gonna make, there we go. And then so you can do that easily. If you're good with source HTML, you can do that as well. And then for me, I never put trigger warnings directly in my blurb if you are a dark romance author, because that can lead to the dungeon. And you might be like, it's never happened to me and I've written 4 books. It will happen sooner or later. I can tell you that now because I've had it happen. I was putting trigger warnings in my book and suddenly I couldn't find any of my books and I had to go back and change it all. So I put that this is a dark contemporary romance and a complete standalone, and then I tell them For all content warnings, check the author's website. And I'm actually going to, don't do this to me. I'm going to italicize that so it stands out. But yes, yeah, I don't, yeah. So you need to make sure that you own the copyright and hold it. If this is a public domain book means that the duration of copyright. So like if you're public domain, it means that it's available to everyone. It means the copyright is over. Anybody can take for it. Things that are considered public domain. Fairy tales are considered public domain. Mythologies are considered public domain. It's because they don't hold the copyrights to them anymore. They are mass produced, things like that. Keywords. So next you want to insert 7 keywords. How do I choose my keywords? Well, they're going to help readers find your book when they browse the Amazon site. You can enter keywords or short phrases that describe your book. When you are doing this, you want to think like a reader. You want to think what people are putting in. Now, to help with that, I will tell you that I have a tool that I use. It's called Publisher Rocket. Publisher Rocket is a tool that helps you find keywords that are being searched, how competitive they are, and things like that. And I have a video on this. It's a little blurry, so I'm going to try and go back and fix it. If you do it in like 720p, then it's fine. So if we take one of my keywords, let's do Omegaverse harem romance. So technically my book is a menage, but a menage is not very used anymore. A lot of people automatically associate menage with a harem. I want keywords that are searchable. And so this is going to tell you, so I put in the whole thing. You can put in just a little, but I'm just showing you. So I put this in because the estimated searches are reasonable enough and the competitive score is only 45. So that's telling me that, okay, I've got a decent enough searches that people are searching this, and I'm not competing up against many people, whereas if I was just putting in Omegaverse romance, when you go into that, I have a highly competitive score. There are only 895 searches for Omegaverse romance, but it's a highly competitive score because there are like 10,000 people out there writing it. And then if I just put Omegaverse and I'm searching that, which is most common search, you know, it's only still out of almost 9,500 plus competitors, it's only getting in roughly 3,000 searches a month, which is what makes it so competitive. So I try to move things around a little bit so that even if they're like, it's a reasonable, I'm happy with a reasonable enough searches with a reasonable enough outcome. So do your research on what your specific keywords are, but just remember to think like a reader. And of course, I will provide the link in the description box below for that keyword video. Just make sure you change it to 720p, otherwise it's blurry. I'm still trying to fix that. Categories. I haven't made a video of this yet on Publisher Rocket, but categories are very important on where you're putting them. The more competitive your category, the harder it is to make anything. I have people who put their categories in the funniest places. And you're like, well, that's technically right. So like a lot of mafia people will put them in white collar crime. They'll put them in gothic. They'll put them under other different ones that I actually, my mind is not thinking about. So for this one, I put it in fairy tales, folk tales, legends, and mythologies, along with paranormal. Now you can only choose 2 categories when you are starting, but you can go and do that later. And here's another reason how I search categories. I'm going to look up paranormal. I'm going to do it for Kindle. And I like this because I don't have to go searching through Kindle or through Amazon on what to put things under. This is going to tell me. So, it's telling me that if I'm doing Kindle ebooks, romance, and paranormal, which I am, I'm doing it under fiction, romance, paranormal, that the sales, it is going to take me 1,727 sales in one day to get me to number 1, 447 to get me to number 10. 19% of that are large publishers, and the 81% are Kindle Unlimited. And so you can kind of see how competitive it is. If I were to go to children's books, I could easily get to number 10 super fast, because of the fact that it's I'm not putting it there, but I'm just letting you know that that's kind of how it works. You could put it into erotica, paranormal, and that just makes it a little easier. Mermaids. So this helps you kind of look where things are at. Just make sure you're paying attention, because you don't want to accidentally put it in a teen and young adult and then get fired. I don't think you can get fired for that, but still. But as you can see, paranormal is kind of a big one. I don't know if there's anything if I just put shifter. There we go. So if I put shifter, you can do Kindle ebooks, mystery, thriller, suspense, paranormal, werewolves, and shifters. Ooh, I might do that. And that's only 100 to number 10 in the store. I'm gonna do that. So let's see. That was under mystery, thriller, and suspense. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna have to wait to do that. Oh well. So when it published, the day it goes live is the day that I'll change these. So this helps you kind of look at it. Another thing you can do is competition analyzer. So if I took somebody who is the same, is writing around the same thing. Of course, it's not gonna pull it up. Let me see. So I'm gonna take a look at Lilith Vincent. And oh, Beauty So Golden. So she is Beauty So Golden. That came out 3 days ago. It's telling me the best-selling rank. She's at 2709. Number of pages in the book. Keyword in the title. Daily number of sales. So let me just tell you though, these are not accurate when it comes to Kindle Unlimited. These are based off of your ABSR. So if she was a wide author and it was all sales, then yes, this is how much she would make. But because she is not a wide author, and because she is a Kindle Unlimited, downloads look at sales when it comes to the ABSR. That's why we kind of get a pump up in the ranking. But so she probably has not necessarily made this much on this book alone. But we can see her categories. And this is what she has put her categories into. So Kindle, literature and fiction, genre fiction, disaster. And like you can get pretty high in that. Contemporary romance, new adult, science fiction, dystopian, post-apocalyptic. And these are going to be great for me. I like looking at these because this is something that's going to be great for me when I go to do my mafia book, which is called Savage. It is a dystopian mafia. So that just kind of gives you like an idea. Look up people who have similar books to yours. So if I was to do, let's say if I was just to put in Omegaverse, sometimes you can put in keywords and it works the same. So if I was to look at Omegaverses, like Elizabeth Knight, All Is Ruined, I can see what categories. Hers are very generalized categories. Let's see. Not My Problem by Sinclair, also very generalized categories. So that really doesn't help me. Because these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they only have 6 categories. It's not helping me at all. So Lilith really did her categories super well. So I'm really kind of proud of that. So now if we go back to, I'll do another video on that altogether, but the setting up your category is super important. And so I might have to look that up later. Age range, if you're doing book ages, make my Kindle available on 2-3. I can't change that, but I'm not. It has to come out. I got 2 hours to do this. Okay, so I would like to now put up my file. So it's going to ask you if you're setting a pre-order, if you want to put up your file or not. The first thing also it's going to ask you is if you want to do digital rights management on the Kindle ebook. Digital rights management is intended to inhibit unauthorized distribution. So some authors want to encourage to share their work and choose not to do DRM applied to their book. If you choose digital rights management, customers will still be able to lend the book to one another for a short period, and you can also purchase the book as a gift. But once you publish your book, you cannot change its DRM rights. And because I've already put mine up, it looks like I can't change it, which is sad. I will sometimes do the DRM rights. It helps, in my opinion, to keep down on piracy because they can't just willy-nilly do whatever they want. So I'm going to go to documents. Make sure this is the one I did today. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, 1244. And that's going to take a minute to upload. So I will have to cut this section out. Doo, doo, doo. So now I'm going to press continue. That didn't take as long as I thought it was. It's telling me that I have until 11:59 GMT time, which explains why it's only giving me 2 hours. Because like I have until midnight, but you really don't. All right, and then upload your cover file. I already have that uploaded. You can upload the online previewer if you want to. I don't, and I'm keeping the KDP. One. All right. So I want to maximize royalties with the KDP. And I should already be enrolled in this. All territories worldwide. I don't want to do individual territories. What location do you expect the majority of my sales, which is in Amazon? Okay, so let's talk about pricing, royalty, and distribution. So you can select a royalty plan and set your Kindle ebook list price below. It gives you a chance to either do 35% or 70%. Do not do 35. Please don't do that to you. Like that is just disrespect to yourself, in my opinion. If you do 35%. If that's just at $3.99, I'm making $1.40. $1.40. I don't want to make $1.40. I want to make $2.72 off of my $3.99 book. I do. And so don't do the 35%. Because, and don't do the expanded distribution. Whatever you do, don't do the expanded distribution. People think it's really cool and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do Ingram. I hate to tell you this, but Amazon actually pays Ingram to do it. And if you do not price your book properly, especially mostly your paperback, because especially if you're enrolled in the Kindle Unlimited program, and I don't think you can't do extended distribution for your ebook, but for your paperback, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let the dark side call to you. They will change your paperback pricing, and they will not give you the royalties for that extra money, because they are trying to make up for not making any money off of paying Ingram Sparks. do yourself a favor, go through Ingham Sparks directly. They now offer the chance for you to get a free ISBN number through them. It's $49. Sometimes you can find discount codes. They offer them a couple of times a year, where they will give you free upload time. But just don't do it through Amazon. They will gouge you, and they will make your paperback more than you want it to be, and it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to your customers. So that is my soapbox. If you do, I'm not gonna hate you if you do it. Like, it's not gonna be like, you did it, because it happens. Like, if you want to do it, you want to do it. Just highly advise you don't do 35% and don't do expanded distribution. Save yourself, and have just keep your dignity. Just it's don't do yourself it's a dishonor on you, a dishonor on your family, and a dishonor on your cow. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. So when you put it in on how much your price your book's at, if you were a new author, I would suggest anywhere from maybe around $2.99 to $3.99 if you're starting out. Once you have a couple of books under your belt and you've got a reading follower, you can up the prices of your books to a higher number. The first book in every one of my series, I always start at $3.99. It's called The Lead Loss. If I had more books, I would give one away for free. I don't, and I have a book that I give away for free as a reader magnet. But don't do yourself the disservice. Don't by pricing it super low. Also, don't price it at $2.99 if it's like over 70,000 words. If your book is huge, if it's over 70, $3.99 is your spot. I always say $3.99 is the sweet spot. If your book is super tiny and it's like novella, then the $2.99 is more acceptable, but don't do yourself a disservice. Again, have confidence in yourself and in your work. You want to think of your readers, but you also need to think about you. Your book is in the Kindle Unlimited. People can read it for free. So offering it for $3.99, that's not bad at all. That's a really good price. That's the average price of books for indie published authors. And if somebody wants to complain about it, go tell them how much trad books cost for an ebook, because they're expensive. They're anywhere from $6.99 to $9.99. So I tell them to go try in a corner somewhere. And like, I had a reader who was like, I want you to change the price of your books because your books are too expensive. Lady, my book is $4.99 plus tax. It ain't that expensive. It ain't that bad. I was like, and it's a popular book, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, to which she has. So think of yourself in your marketing, because if you're not going to make any money off of it, what's the point? It's not all about making money, but you still got to make money. So think about that. Like, don't overprice your books, but $3.99 if you're especially if you're a brand new author, that's really amazing. That's a great price. I know authors who are self-published who are $5.99, and they're a lot more popular than me, though. So I stick to around $3.99 to $4.99 now. Usually, if they're standalones, I price them all at $3.99. But my series, I tend to price the first one at $3.99 and then $4.99 for the following. All right, so that's it. That's how simple it is. And then now you just click submit for pre-order. And then you can go start your paperback. I'm not going to go do that. So it takes 72 hours. So if you're one of those people who's just putting it up without doing a pre-order, just know it can take up to 72 hours for your book to become live. My book will go live basically at midnight on the 2nd. On the 3rd, technically, I guess. And that is it. So if you have any questions, let me know. But that is essentially how you upload a book to Amazon. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay savvy.